They get open. 1 second left. Clark doesn't get the shot off. Cloud locks her up. And New York comes into Indianapolis.
First one. There's one foul. There's two fouls. Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the fourth time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say, she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. But I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York, and they still barely won.
All right, before we dive into this, watch these clips. 1 second left, Clark doesn't get the shot off. Cloud locks her up, and New York comes into Indianapolis, ... And the ref just watches Caitlyn get hammered. No call, no whistle, just silence. Look, at this angle, this is the worst one. There's one foul, then there's two. Then she's held by the shoulder and on her arm when she follows through, and then fouled again for the fourth time. It's plain cheating. It's right there in front of everyone. Did that ref get paid off by Engelbert to keep quiet? Something shady is going on here, and we need to break it down. You've got this athlete, Caitlyn Clark, stepping into the WNBA with all the hype-breaking viewership records, filling up arenas, carrying the league on her back. And what does she get in return?
All right, you got this athlete in a league that nobody's been watching, never turned a profit, and your system is broken against that team? Are you mental?
Elbows, shoves, and no whistles. The refs stand there like they didn't see a thing. Like someone told them, don't call it. Let her take it. You ever see a star player get knocked around so much that it feels personal? That's what this is. Caitlyn Clark isn't just another player. She's the player, and now she's injured. Meanwhile, one of those refs gets quietly suspended with no public statement. Nothing. Just disappeared. Fans are starting to connect the dots. The face of the league, yet we've heard absolutely nothing from her. Not a word. So, we've got to ask, did they let Caitlyn Clark get hurt on purpose? Or was this all part of a bigger plan to bring her down? From the second Clark stepped onto the court, something felt off. Physically, emotionally, politically, liberally off.
We have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely.
Caitlyn walked into the WNBA as the future of the game, but instead of being protected, she was punished. Every game was like a battle, and the league did nothing to stop it. She wasn't here to shine, she was here to survive. And every game brought more bruises and not a single whistle in her favor. Then the inevitable happens. A quad injury. The WNBA's biggest star sidelined, and fans are more than upset. They're furious. They're asking questions, and they're starting to look at Engelbert as the one pulling the strings. Or was this always the plan to break Caitlyn's spirit, to humble her, to remind her who's in charge? We've all seen bad officiating, right? Missed calls, bad nights for the refs. But this felt different. It wasn't just one bad call or an off night. No, it was consistent. Over and over again, Caitlyn Clark was getting hammered, hard fouls, elbows, shoves, and nothing called. Fans thought it might be a rookie hazing, but when it kept happening, the ref, who ignored all those fouls, suspended. No press conference. No official statement. Just gone. That's not accountability. Fans immediately called it out. Cover up, scapegoat. They saw it. They knew it. This wasn't a mistake. This was part of a bigger plan. Let's talk about that game. Fever versus Liberty. Final seconds. Clark drives to the rim. Natasha Cloud fouls her hard. The crowd gasps. The commentators freeze. No whistle. The coach tries to challenge it, but she doesn't even have the right timeout. The refs don't even glance at the play. And just like that, the Liberty steal the win. The ref who ignored it? Yeah, the same one who was later suspended. Coincidence? For fans, this was the final straw. They weren't buying the excuse that it was just bad officiating anymore. And now, the WNBA has some serious explaining to do. This isn't just a fan movement anymore. People like Brittany Griner and Kelsey Plum are speaking up. Even Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith are calling out the WNBA for failing to protect its biggest star, yet what do we get in return? Silence? No apology? No statement? Just a referee suspension? Too quiet. The fans are fed up. The players are frustrated. And the story is getting bigger by the hour. But even with Clark sidelined, she isn't staying quiet. On the sidelines, she's still vocal. Fans are loving her energy, even when she's injured, but when she speaks out. Some say she's being dramatic. But maybe that's the point. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a player anymore. She's the voice of change. So, here's the burning question. Was Clark stepping up, or stepping out of line. Caitlyn Clark didn't just come to play. She came to revolutionize the game. But what happened next wasn't about basketball. It was about a system trying to hold her down. A system more interested in protecting its optics than its players. And in doing so, they almost lost their future. This isn't just about a bad ref. It's about a broken system, one that didn't protect its biggest star, one that allowed power plays to take precedence over the health and safety of its players. It's time for the WNBA to step up, or it might lose the future it was counting on. So, you tell us, was this all part of the plan? Was Caitlyn Clark's rise too much for the league to handle? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because trust us, this storm is just getting started. As the days pass, fans aren't just reacting to Clark's injury, they're investigating, connecting dots and raising questions that the league is desperately trying to avoid. The anger is growing, and it's not just from the fans the players are talking to, and when the voices of those on the court start speaking out, you know something bigger is brewing. Caitlyn Clark didn't just change the game in a few short weeks, she redefined it. She became the face of the WNBA, the one player who was finally drawing people in, packing arenas, and generating record-breaking viewership. She wasn't just playing basketball, she was making history, but history isn't always kind to those who rise too fast too high. The more Clark shone, the harder. The pushback? And it was more than just a few missed calls. It was a system built to keep her in line, to remind her who's in control, to make sure she never became bigger than the league itself. And now, she's sidelined not just by an injury, but by the system that failed to protect her. What's even more frustrating? The silence from the WNBA. Where's Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner, when the face of the league is getting treated like this? Why is she nowhere to be found while Clark is left to fend for herself? Left to take hit after hit without anyone stepping in to stop it? Fans want answers, and they want them now. We've all seen what happens when the league's biggest stars get knocked down. This isn't the first time the system's failed its brightest talents. Remember the other players who got swept under the rug? The ones who were pushed to the side because they didn't fit the narrative the league wanted to tell? But this time, it's different. This time, the fans are paying attention. This time, they're not going to let it slide. And Caitlyn Clark knows it. Even when she's not on the court, even with her injury, she's not staying silent. The camera's caught her talking to coaches, engaging with the refs, still leading the team despite being on the sidelines. She's not just a player anymore. She's the heart of this movement. She's the voice speaking up for everyone who has been overlooked, silenced, or pushed aside. And the league knows it. But here's the harsh reality. Caitlyn Clark's injury wasn't just bad luck. It wasn't just a random turn of events. It was the end result of weeks of sustained hits and fouls. Fouls that went ignored by the refs, by the league, and by the system that was supposed to protect her. Every missed call, every shove, every elbow that went unpunished, it all built up to this moment. The injury wasn't just inevitable. It was almost planned. And now, the league is trying to save face. One ref gets quietly suspended. Like this is just another mistake. Just another piece of the puzzle. But fans see through it. This isn't a mistake. It's intentional. The refs weren't missing calls. They were ignoring them. And who's pulling the strings? Cathy Engelbert. She's the one with the power to stop this. And she didn't. The silence from the league, the refusal to acknowledge what's really happening, speaks volumes. The WNBA's biggest star is hurt, sidelined by a league that should be protecting her. And instead of stepping up, the league is sweeping it under the rug. And Clark, she's still fighting for herself, for her fans, and for the future of women's basketball. If the WNBA doesn't step up now, they'll risk losing everything they've worked for. The league was finally on the verge of something special, with Caitlyn Clark leading the charge, but now it's all slipping away. And that's the big question. Was this all a setup? Was the WNBA's silence part of the plan all along? Or has Cathy Engelbert failed to protect the very future she promised to build? This isn't just about bad officiating. This isn't just about missed calls. This is about the league's failure to protect its brightest star. This is about the silence. That's been deafening. And it's time for the WNBA to stop hiding behind PR stunts and start taking responsibility for what's happening on and off the court. The fans are watching. The players are watching. And the question remains, how far will this go before the league is forced to face the truth? Stay tuned because this storm is just getting started, and we're not going to stop asking the hard questions. The WNBA needs to answer them before it's too late.